I first got involved in the pecan business in 1974. We kept looking for a place to move to farther from the big city and the millions of people up there. So Dad purchased a 320-acre place that had thousands of pecan trees on it, and we didn't know a pecan from a walnut, basically. They were too expensive for us to eat when we were growing up because I've got 10 brothers and sisters. These northern native pecans have a higher oil content than the big grafted pecans. And the two advantages that I'm aware of: one, flavor. They're sweeter by nature. They taste like they've already been buttered. And the other one is, it's very heart healthy. Our native pecans are 93% unsaturated and have a better oil profile than olive oil. The term native means that they grew there 1,000 years ago. They're not imported. The squirrels dig holes and plant them, and the squirrel forgets where he planted them, and the next spring, up it pops. So our trees are actually planted by God and the squirrels. In a native grove, every tree is its own variety. If you have a disease that hurts one tree, it's probably not going to hurt the next one. As far as fertilizer use, a native tree grows here because it's supposed to grow here and it knows what it needs. So last year I took a leaf sample and sent it in for analysis as to whether or not it needed zinc, nitrogen, NPK and zinc basically, and the result came back that it didn't need anything. When it comes to sustainability, I honestly think there isn't anything in the U.S. that is as sustainable as these trees. This tree behind me is the largest one, the oldest one that I have on my farm here. I've got 80 acres here in Vernon County, Missouri. And I estimate this tree to be 250 years old, and there are bigger, older ones in this county. 250 years ago was 1763, so this tree started growing before George Washington was president and all of that good stuff. And that's something that's really, to me, so cool about these natural wild pecan grows, is that that tree made it through the Revolutionary War, all the wars we've had, World War I and II, the Depression, the recession, everything. It just stands there and makes good food. It gives you a feeling of serenity to be out in this grove. When it comes time to harvest, you have a hull, a shell, and a nut meat inside the shell. So when the tree is ready, you use a mechanized shaker to shake the tree. Whenever you're shaking the tree, I think it just moves the roots around a little bit and gives them a little room. Any dead limbs in it are going to come out. And you have a picker, blows the leaves out and the bigger sticks go out. At that point you go to a cleaner, and it's got a number of belts and chains and blowers and aspirators and such, and eventually you run down a table, and humans, we still got to have them, pick out the bad ones, and the good ones go into a super sack. When it comes to the plant and trying to use everything, we shell the pecans, and we take the shell that we make today and burn them in a pecan shell furnace so that we have some warm air to blow through the meats to dry them, because before you shell them, you have to raise the moisture percentage up to about 7%. If you don't do that, the nut meats are brittle and they break and you make more pieces. If you don't dry them down within the next couple of days, they're going to mold. So we have a pecan shell furnace that we burn yesterday's shells in to dry today's pecans. So it's, we don't waste very much. We put a lot of care and effort into making sure you get the best product available, and when you purchase them again, that'll prove to me that you really enjoyed the product. I feed these same pecans to my children and grandchildren, and that means a lot to me.